Just give it 1 second. Hey, everybody. This is Samuel Singer, Executive Director of Wyoming Stargazing. And I'm here with Mike Adler, the Wyoming Stargazing Board of Directors Vice President, who was also an accomplished amateur astronomer and astrophotographer. Mike, thanks so much for joining me this evening.
I'm happy to be here, Samuel.
Yeah, it's great to be with you. And I know you've been doing some imaging already this evening. And so I'd love to have you tell us a little about what we're going to be looking at, and you can just take it away.
Okay, so we're going to be photographing what is known as M81, Messier 81, and it's a beautiful galaxy, a grand spiral galaxy. And I've done some work on this in the past, but my goal here is to add more time. One of the nice things you can do is you can take a picture, and if you want to improve its quality, you can just take more pictures, and that's what we're going to do tonight, is start that process of taking more pictures. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen, go to my desktop, and then we're going to, we'll walk through the process. So what's going to happen. So this is this screen here is the one that controls the actual telescope mount. It describes what the telescope is pointing at, which is actually what this yellow dot is here. And then I'm going to tell it to go. You see, I've written up here on the left, M81. So I'm going to tell it to find that, and it's way up here. It's actually past the meridian. It's actually setting at the moment, but it's still reasonably high in the sky. And now I'm going to tell the mount to actually go there. So you'll see that happen. I'll just click this, and you said, do you really want to do it? And I say, yes, we really want to do it. And so now you see the little yellow dot moving towards the red dot. And then that'll be the first step to get it in the field of view. And then I'm going to go, I've done a little work already. One of the things to do, we're going to be taking 10-minute exposures of this thing. And to do a 10-minute exposure, the mount tracks open loop. It just tracks as the Earth spins, but it's not quite good enough. And so what we're going to do is do what is known as guiding. And so we're going to actually find a star that's in the field of view and use a second camera that's attached to the telescope and use that to take a picture of the star. But there's a feedback loop that will keep that star centered in the field of view, so that over a 10-minute period, there's no blurring going on whatsoever. So anyway, so I've just done that. I've gotten the telescope here. I already know, though, that there is no guide star in the field of view. The way this works is there's just a tiny little bit of the field of view that we're peeling off to look for guide stars. And I already know that at this point, I figured out where it is. And so I'm now going to go to this other screen, which is Slew to the coordinates. So this is just going to be a minor adjustment to the where the telescope is pointing right now. And I've just done that. I'm going to close that. So now we're going to go and I'll see what we can find if we're actually looking at the object. So I'm going to pull this off to the side. This is a different screen now. This one is Maxim DL, which is the program that actually controls the camera on the telescope. The first one was the program that controls the telescope mount and where it's pointing at. This controls the camera. So I'm going to now go and see, did we actually capture are we in the right location? So I'm now going to take actually I got to do this. I want to take a 10-second, maybe a 10-second picture. We're going to do that, and we'll see if the object, Messier 81, is in field of view. So it's clicking away. Now 10 seconds, we have to wait. We're halfway through it right now, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. There it is. Okay, so there it is. So in fact, there is the galaxy, and it's not a great exposure because I was doing it with actually binning one, so at the lowest signal to noise, but it is there. I can see it there, and so that's good. Now I'm going to see if I can find a guide star. So this is, as I said before, this is a let me just improve the look of this so you can see what it looks like a little bit better than this. I'll take another picture. So what I'm going to do after I do this is I'm going to go and control my second camera, which is the guiding camera. It's a little tiny camera that the big camera is about the size of a football, and it's quite large. It's cooled cryogenically to minus 30 degrees C, and initially, what we're going to be doing is taking a picture of it. This is a black and white camera, but we'll ultimately be taking pictures with both a clear filter and then eventually with red, green, and blue filters. Okay, so here it is again. Now you can see it looks a little nicer. I took a 20-second exposure, and you can see it now. Okay, so now, so there it is, looking pretty good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hit this other button here called guide. And so that this is now the part of this same control system that's controlling this other camera, this little tiny one. And I'm going to see if I can see if I'm going to find a guide star in this particular field of view. This splits off just a little bit of the field of view from the big telescope. And there's a guide star. So we just saw picture right in the middle, amazingly. Now, granted, truth in advertising is I've already had this set up. That little adjustment that I did was designed to get a guide star in the field of view, but I did it. So there it is. So now I'm going to go into tracking mode. So I click the track button here. I'm going to click the star because that's what I want. There's no other star here, but I have to click that star, and that's the star I want to track. And now I'm going to hit start. So what's actually going to go on now is we're taking 6-second exposures of this star, and you'll see it just pop up here. And then there's a graph here, which is the error graph. This will grow. So watch it work on this, and you'll see it's not quite centered, but in a few iterations here, you see it just moved, and it's now pretty well centered. And this graph is showing the X and Y error associated with the guiding. And what this is going to do, and this is a very precise location. The pixel size in this little camera is about half the size in my big camera, and the error here is pixels of that. So and
So we're
right
talking
now,
well less than an arc second.
yeah, well, and it's on the order, yeah, it's on that order anyway,
Okay.
of that. So you can see it, it's settling down, and we're getting the error, and so it'll bounce around a little bit, but the fact is that it's staying on the screen is the important thing, and so we're doing that, and it is settling around. So now I can go ahead and actually start taking a picture. Start doing the picture taking that I want to do. Now that I go back to this other screen, and I'll go into what's called the autosave mode. And this is a program within this MaximDL program that allows me to proper sequence the pictures I want to take. So first I'm going to take a luminance picture, which is just a clear filter, 600 seconds, 10 minutes. Then we're going to do a red and a green and a blue. And then we're going to go back and do luminance again. And we're going to do this 10 times because I won't have that much time tonight before it gets light. Right now it's about 11 o'clock. And this time of year, we don't have a lot of really astronomical darkness. So by 4 a.m., it's beginning to get light again. So we have about maybe 5 hours of time here. So that right now I've got 6 hours programmed. I won't get through all of this tonight. So I won't go into all of this detail here, but so we're going to be taking 10-minute exposures. And now what I'm going to do just hit OK here, and then I'm going to just hit start. And now we're going to, if you see the screen, it says guide or settle. It's letting the guide, and you notice the guide signal is steadied out a little bit after it's been running now. And it will just clunk on, and I'll let it run essentially all night up until 4 a.m. If I'm lucky enough, I'll get up and I'll stop it. If I don't, whatever. But you'll see the guide star up here. So I'm going to just let this go on, and but I'll show you what a 10-minute exposure actually looks like if I didn't lose it here. Where did it go? That was not the one I had. Oh, you know what? Since I didn't save it, it lost it. Okay, I can retrieve that error here. I just go to. I'll just pick. I had one, and I didn't save it, but here. I'll just. Okay, so this is a 10-minute exposure, and that's what it looks like after 10 minutes.
You can really see the spiral arms.
Yeah, you can really see the spiral arms, and I can, if I do a little modification to the process here, I'll do a filter, digital development filter, and it'll make it look even better. So.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Now that big blob in the middle that was all wiped out is looking better, and so that's one 10-minute exposure. Now that's not good enough to make a final picture by any means. In fact, I've already taken 17 hours of pictures on this object, and I'll show you what that looks like. But this is one 10-minute picture, and the idea now is to continue to take many more of these, because I want to resolve some additional detail that's around the edges here. There's another little galaxy up here, which, and I want to take some more pictures to bring that up. So this, I'm going to now show you what my, what the picture I have already done looks like, and that's what it looks like. But I want to improve on it. That little area up here, I want to make that, bring out the resolution on that. But so this is what I did after 17 hours in the past. I'm retaking some of these pictures to improve on this. And you might say, well, it can't get any better. Well, it can. It's amazing. You know, the more you zoom in, if I zoom in some more, you'll start seeing, you know, that there's some detail. And when I'm done adding maybe another 17 hours to this, this will get even sharper than it is right now.
That's super cool, Mike. I mean, even with what you already have, you know, the amount of detail you can see in the central core of the galaxy with those dust lanes, and you know, the star forming regions, the little red blotches throughout the sweeping arms of the galaxy. It's pretty impressive.
Anyway, so this is the process that you go through to take astronomical pictures, and I just showed you taking one 10-minute exposure, so you do that for 17 hours and you get this picture. And I'm going to add, my record is I've taken, in some of my pictures, I've gone up to 84 hours to get the resolution I want.
Wow, that's super cool. And so, yeah, so M81, that's Bode's galaxy. Was it about 12.5 million light years away?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's not quite as big as the Milky Way, but it's about 800,000. Let's see, Milky Way is 100,000 light years. This is about 80,000 light years across, and the field of view is pretty large. You could see the field of view in the natural field. That picture was cropped. This shows you the field of view of this telescope with this camera is about the size of the full moon. So what you're looking at is an object in the sky that's somewhat smaller than the full moon.
Yeah. And just to kind of put this galaxy in perspective to what we're seeing from the James Webb Ultra Deep Field, right? So this galaxy is 12.5 million light years away. It's just like one of our next door neighbors compared to the galaxies that the James Webb Space Telescope is imaging that are about 12.5 billion light years away. So,
Yes.
we're talking, six orders of magnitude farther away.
Yeah.
So it's unimaginably far away compared to this
This is
galaxy.
next door. This is
Yeah.
next door. Yeah. Even though this is next door, it took the light. That when we say it's 12 million light years away, it means it took the light that we're photographing tonight 12 million years to get here. So it's next door by cosmological scales, but it's close when you look at the really big picture of 13 billion light years associated with.
Yeah, the Earth didn't even exist, nor did the sun exist when the light from those distant galaxies and the James Webb Space Telescope started traveling towards our direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
Mike, something interesting I'm going to do
ahead.
about the web. I'm actually downloading some of the raw data. Turns out you can get the raw data. So I'm going to actually make my own web pictures.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thanks so much for your time. This has been super cool to see what you do, and we'll definitely do this again sometime.
All right, so much. I'm glad to do it, and we'll see you the next time.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next time. And